I've been with Arizona Multi-Housing Association for about 25 years. So I started out really on the lobbying and government relations side, and spent about 17-ish years really focused on that aspect, representing the AMA at the state capitol, in front of legislators, in front of the executive's office, the governor's office, various agencies like Department of Real Estate or Department of Revenue, Department of Housing. I mean, y'all can imagine. And then we also have represented AMA in about 20 local jurisdictions. So all the major metropolitan cities here in Maricopa County, Tucson, Pima County, Flagstaff, Coconino. So, we can't quite cover all 80 plus cities in the state of Arizona, but we try to cover the major cities because, there's always something going on at the state or local level that impacts housing.
Awesome. So,
go ahead, Mike.
So I told you we mess it up.
No, all good.
So, set the tone for everyone listening, Azreia members and real estate investors across Arizona. We brought Courtney in because, one, we want a natural progression in real estate. Might start with residential, and you like to get into multi-family. I almost said multi-housing.
Yes.
Got me going. So AMA would be your next route, right? So, one, we want to let you know about AMA. And two, like you said, lobbying and legislative. When you're new to real estate, you want to make money. You want to cash flow. You want financial freedom.
Important.
Yeah, that's why we do it. And we want to provide safe, clean, affordable housing to the citizens of Arizona. We don't really, touch on that as much. And there's a lot of changes coming down the pipeline. So when we think lobbying, legislative, your brain might go, why is this coming into the picture? What's it have to do with cash flow? So that's why we brought Courtney in to break that down for us and educate us. So you mentioned lobbying. I want to even start with what's lobbying, right? Let's keep the fundamentals.
Well, so here's an interesting story. So AMA was founded in 1966, and the reason that they were founded is a few apartment developers, builders at that time got together. They were really frustrated that Arizona was imposing sales tax on residential rent at the state level. So they decided to form an organization and go to the legislature and advocate to get rid of that tax. They ultimately were successful building the organization, eliminating state tax on rent. They didn't have their crystal ball. They didn't know the cities would come along behind the state eventually and then start charging it, which, we all know is going away on January 1. But the whole original purpose, I should say, of the organization was to advocate on behalf of owners and operators of rental housing, and to create a level or a balanced regulatory landscape in Arizona so that we can successfully provide quality and affordable housing. Arizona is, I won't say it's unique, but I think we have a very good regulatory environment for rental housing, especially when you compare us to, some of the local jurisdictions in California or California even, or the East Coast. We have what I would consider a balanced regulatory field. So that's where we have always kind of focused our regulatory and lobbying efforts, is to just keep that balance and make sure that Arizona is a good place to own and operate a business, in our case to own and operate rental housing, and not be subjected to onerous or overburdensome regulations. So we do a lot of talking. We do a lot of educating.
Love it.
Lobbying isn't necessarily what I think a lot of people think that it is, and it's we're not going out and having steak dinners and cocktails and
sliding money under the table,
sliding the envelope across the table. It really is, it's communication.
Good point.
And probably the most important thing that we do is put a face with the industry. So we love it when our members go down to the legislature and testify, because they're on the front lines. They really understand best what's going on, and legislators really respond to that. They want to interact with the real people.